You know, for cutting the hair. I don't have any in here, so
scissors?
Clippers are fine. A pair of scissors is a good idea to have around you if you cannot rip your tape. So having scissors handy is important. Your clippers. This is my alcohol scrub.
Oh, okay.
Exactly what I said.
Chlorhexidine scrub. Okay, I place those out. Make sure you have your catheter out. Okay, the proper size, because there's different sizes.
This is a catheter.
This is a catheter. This is a type of catheter. They look all different kinds. I'll show you.
We're thinking about the urinary catheter.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about IV catheter.
It connects to a tube, doesn't it?
No, when
Or
I put
whatever.
Catheter, I automatically think
I have never ever thought urinary. I
See,
always
and
think
that's not
catheters
my-
that go in
well-
your arm.
the only catheter.
Perverts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Okay.
Each catheter will have a coloration on it. This is blue, so I know this is going to be 22. This one right here is probably going to be 18 or 20, and the size is 20 gauge needle. So the bigger the needle, bigger the animal, bigger the catheter. Okay. Smaller the animal, smaller the catheter. Okay. Those are usually like yellow. That's the color. Each color means the size of it. Okay. This one's different completely compared to this one. The reason I like these ones, okay, compared to these ones, you actually have to push something off to make it go in properly with your finger. It's a lot more complicated. This one, you go in and then you just push this in there. So as you're pushing, you push your finger in there and that's it. It slides right off into it. Okay. Now, I always like to do, when I'm doing this, we're going to leave this aside as an example. I always like to prepare my catheter by taking off the top, opening it up, and then I also kind of look right here. I have to twist this off to make sure it's going to come off easy. I place this to the side of my catheter. So, Justin, let me just pretend your arm is the dog, okay? You're the dog, the veins coming down this way.
Okay.
So, what I would do is I would clip me.
She's gonna staple you!
Alright. I would take my alcohol and I would scrub. Well, not alcohol, excuse me, my bad. I take my chlorhexidine and I would scrub really good all around, make sure it's nice and clean. And then I take my alcohol. Some people like to do a 3-step cycle on this. I do, just because I want to make sure that the skin is clean if I'm going in there. So it has to be cleaned really well. This is why that setup's important. Because if I didn't have everything that I needed, I'd be going all over directions looking for it. So this is why you want to have a good setup.
Right.
I also want to make sure, I missed this part, that your tape is also set up to what you're going to do with it. I rip my tape off. Everybody has a different way of making their tape for catheters. I'm not teaching you guys how to do it, but I'm just showing you how to set it
No,
up.
you ripped it perfectly down the middle.
Yep. And so after I do this, I have my tape, I scrubbed, he's good to go. I can go ahead and apply my catheter like I'm supposed to, grab my tape like I need to, put my catheter in, and we're set. Everything's prepped around me. I don't need to be looking for anything. This is why you want to make sure you have a station where you can get all this stuff and get it ready. Well, I don't wear gloves when I put in catheters. I just don't. That way I can feel the vein.
Listen, her clippers are stapler.
Yeah.
It's a stapler.
This is my clippers. An example.
And your paper towel's alcohol.
Yep. But the idea of like taping a catheter is we got to make sure it's going to stay to the skin.
Right.
So after we take the needle out, you know, make sure you put it back somewhere safe. You don't want it flying loose all over the table. While this is just sitting in there, we tape, because all of the white part, that is going to be in the vein. We're not going to be able to see that. What we're taping is the actual hub right here. So we want to make sure it's secure. We go underneath and we tape it around and make sure.
Nurses do it all different ways. I know.
Yeah.
There's all kinds.
They go
of
around
ways.
this way and
Oh,
they
yeah.
go around this way.
Everybody has a different way of doing it. Different
Yeah.
doctors do different ways. Even the emergency clinic even does it crazy. But we want to make sure we actually tape that and then we tape it to the actual skin and then we go around and wrap it around. But that's the whole purpose of having the tape out, because if the catheter's in his arm and he's wiggling all over the place, how am I going to be able to rip off my tape while he's, you know, wiggling all over the place? That's why you want to make sure everything's out that way, because once you get a catheter in, you never know how hard it's going to be to get it in again.
Yeah.
So I can't believe catheter. The first thing I think of is urine. And I don't know why.
Does everybody think of urinary catheter?
I've had two.
I
Because I
don't.
never heard the word catheter until I went to, I mean, you know, so I had to go to the doctor one time and they said, we need to put a catheter in.
It's a